trying to figure out his Facebook password. How do you not know?
Because I have 10. They say don't keep the same password for everything.
Listen, I have the same password for everything.
Well,
on the computers, on the phone, on every account, everything is the same, just so I don't forget it.
Well,
and it amazes me.
Look, oh, sorry, you entered an old password.
Way to go, buddy.
Hey guys, pay attention. We're getting ready to record. Rogan Radio, the podcast about conspiracies, politics, sports. This week, we talk about the voices from the past. And Matt joins us to talk about the killer asteroid coinciding with the Pope's visit to New York City on the 23rd. Hope you enjoy.
All right, it's the very first podcast of Rogan Radio. Thanks for listening to us. And you can be sure to check us out on Facebook at Rogan Radio, Twitter at Rogan Radio, Google Plus at Rogan Radio, and also YouTube at Rogan Radio. The big problem tonight, we have a webcam set up, and of course, it's out of all this stuff that we have here that I prepared for, one thing I didn't have was a cable going from the mixer to the actual computer, so that's that. But anyway, very first episode. Rookie. We're big Star Wars fans. We're going to be talking about conspiracies. We're going to be talking about politics. We're going to be talking about basically anything that we would like. Tonight, though, the episode is going to basically consist of maybe the history of radio to a certain extent. Jimmy, you're from Pittsburgh. The very first commercial licensed radio station. KDKA,
yeah. In the world, in America,
yeah. Was in Pittsburgh, if you can believe it. And most of the time, KDKA, it's kind of odd because
if you can believe it. There's some smart MFers come out of Pittsburgh.
Shoot, man, name one.
Race here, right here.
Because most of the time, west of the Mississippi is a K, and the east of the Mississippi is a W. Now that's a long-standing tradition, so to speak. But nevertheless, that's why you have a KDKA or like a W that we're used to. You go out west, it's K's more than likely.
What happened in WKRP in Cincinnati?
I love that show too. That show was so real.
That had
Lonnie Anderson, man.
But it wasn't Lonnie
Les
Anderson.
Nessman was the greatest.
No, it wasn't Lonnie Anderson, the one that I was attracted to.
Bailey.
What
was Bailey's last name?
I don't. Who cares?
Who cares?
She had that. She kind of looked like a librarian, you know.
Bailey Beck.
What's your favorite WKRP episode?
I couldn't.
When they launched the turkeys?
Gosh, yeah, that was a good one.
That was fun. They were all fantastic. But we absolutely are just we're going to be talking about everything. We're going to have everything. We just thought of a new episode, not even a new episode, of a Facebook Spotlight. So if you're on Facebook, make sure you like Rogan Radio, and we're going to spotlight you, so to speak, if you like it or not.
Yeah, if you like the page, then you might be on the show.
But anyway,
indirectly.
Once again, we're going to go through some of our favorite broadcasters that have got us to the point and have kind of introduced us to why we listen to the radio by chance, I guess. We're going to be talking about. I'm sure Todd's going to be making fun of somebody.
Probably
Dick Clark. He does a great Dick Clark impression. Let me hear it real quick.
And I'm Dick Clark.
That's terrible. We're also going to get Matt on the phone, and we're going to talk about what's coming up. A lot of people are talking about September 23rd, which is kind of weird. There's a lot of coincidences. There's the big asteroid that allegedly is going to hit that NASA is denying. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Don't know. Watch some video. If you go once again to our Facebook page, you'll see what basically a size of a boulder looks like flying through the air what that and being a shockwave when that thing came flying through the air, man.
Was that one in Russia?
Oh my goodness, just a shockwave alone.
How big was that thing? Because it wasn't anything like the one
No,
they're talking about.
oh god, no. It was the size of a
that one
boulder.
it's September
A lot
20.
of times they explode before they even hit the.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
this one's not going to explode. It's 2.5 miles wide.
Yeah, we're going to get right.
That just means
through
by
us.
the time it hits the Earth, it'll probably be a mile wide, and disintegration, and then kill us all.
Sort of like, yeah. I was going to say something dirty, but I'll refrain from doing that. It's the first show. I can't be like that. Anyway, you're listening to Rogan Radio, and you know what? Back, we're going to talk about some of our favorite broadcasters.
Thanks for tuning in to Rogan Radio. Each show is a mystery, even to us. Make sure to call us or text us at 681-222-ROGN. We'd love to hear from you.
This is Mike Hurst, Sorrel Rock Farm in Philippi, West Virginia. Breaking horses every day, living the cowboy way, listening to Rogan Radio.
All right, we're back. Captain Earl having a good time tonight. He's running the show.
No, you won't let me.
I'm trying to keep him under control. But anyway, once again, we are. This is our very initial podcast, and I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard tonight to think about things because I'm kind of flustered from trying to get all this damn equipment put together at the very last
Not
second.
Captain Earl Radio, it's Rogan Radio.
That's right. Yeah,
It's all new, Chuck. It's all new, man.
That's right. But anyway, once again, we are, the whole evolution of going from cylinders to records to broadcasting as far as airwaves and FM and AM to the point that now technology has us to where we can sit in a house and actually broadcast and record things digitally and then put them over the internet is quite amazing. But it didn't start out of nowhere, and there's some voices from the past that just basically inspired us all, and you would know them right off the bat whenever you hear them.
Yeah, but you know what? But you don't know. That's all you know. You just know the voice.
You just know the voice.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't
know
even
that.
have a clue, basically.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Don LaFontaine?
Don LaFontaine.
Don LaFontaine.
LaFontaine.
I can't. It's French. I can't know. But you know what? If I said, "Hey, who was Don LaFontaine?"
Right.
You would know who he was.
Who would know
If I
that?
showed you a picture, you wouldn't even know who
Probably
he was.
would have no idea.
But you know what? But if you heard his voice, then I bet you know exactly who he was.
In a world in the
Oh,
year
absolutely.
2077.
That guy does every movie trailer ever made, right?
Oh, he absolutely does.
Well,
Don-
every movie up until 2008.
Don.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no longer with us. He was born in when was he born? 1940. He was only 68 when he died.
Oh, no
Died in
kidding.
September.
Of course, he could be like Tupac and be making movie trailers
Or
well
Elvis.
after 2008.
Yeah, other names. They called him. They called him Thunderthroat, the voice of God.
He is the voice of God, though. The guy has a fantastic
Yeah,
voice.
The king of movie trailers. That's what they called him, the voice of God. But DonLaFontaine.com if you want to go check him out.
He did basically about everything, didn't he? As far as movie trailers go.
Donald Leroy Don Fontaine.
Is there like a bio for that dude on all the movie trailers he did?
I bet
Oh, he's
probably
done.
on
Listen, he's
IMDb.
done over 5,000 movie trailers.
You know, that guy just sits in the studio and he just like listens to himself.
That's what he
likes
does. He
it.
works from home. He's done thousands of
Kind of sounds
television
like Chuck
advertisements.
Rogan.
Pretty much, doesn't it? Or Buster.
Don LaFontaine.
Or Ducko. Sometimes
Listen,
Ducko likes to
listen,
hear
listen,
himself talk.
Codename Buster.
Has marveled at the vast complexity of the universe. Without a single unified voice, humanity has been left searching.
It don't get no
for
better than that guy.
No, that guy's really fantastic.
One man has the power to change.
I mean, it's like that old style, you know, like say in the early radio days, they had that when they would announce or when they would do the like the dramas on the radio. They had that special voice, and then a lot of the guys when TV first came around, that's when they actually went back. A lot of those radio guys, Ed Brinkley, like those guys, they had that and tonight, you know, they had that old style voice to them.
Listen, I'm gonna give you another one. All right, now I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I want you to hear the voice.
Okay.
Because you're a sports fan, right? That may have already given it away.
Okay, it'll be between Jimmy and I then, I guess.
Yeah, listen to this. Tell me who this is.
That's all. We got one goddamn hit.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Is that Bob Uecker?
This is Bob Uecker, man.
Bob Uecker.
Listen, because you're a baseball fan. I'm not a baseball fan. I don't really care about baseball.
I love baseball. You
Even
don't like
though I know
baseball?
his name. I'm not a big baseball fan.
Do you know that? You know Bob Uecker was actually a player. He played for the Milwaukee Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, the Philadelphia Phillies,
I didn't know
and the Atlanta Braves.
You know, it's funny because a lot of people don't even know the Braves came from Milwaukee. Just like I think Boston wasn't there. I think they originated in Boston. The Boston Braves, I think.
Was it? See, I don't know baseball.
Yeah, I will have to ask Matt.
Yeah, a lot of people probably remember Bob Uecker from Major League when he
That's about
Yeah.
the mid outside.
He's been a broadcaster since 1971.
Or the Miller Lite commercials.
Does he
Yeah.
do Miller
Takes
Lite
great
commercials?
feeling, that kind of stuff. Because they had everybody in those things.
Yeah.
I got listen to this. Now listen, I grew up with this guy.
Okay.
I remember we lived in Hurricane, and I used to I'd play outside, but I always put the radio in the window because I wanted to listen to this guy. Where's he at? Here he is. All right, listen to this. You reckon?
Hurricane.
Well, now we're up to the number
every
one
Sunday
song
morning.
in the land, and our look back
Casey
at 4
Kasem.
I grew up
amazing
listening to
decades.
top 40s.
counting them
and
down.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The countdown
Casey
began on the 4th of
Casey
July,
Kasem was also
1988.
Scooby, right?
It was an
Or
idea
Shaggy.
my partner Don
Oh
Bailey-
no, he did Shabby. Listen, he was
Shabby.
No, he did Shaggy, not Shabby. Shaggy Rogers on the Scooby Doo. He did that from 1969 to
Wait a minute,
1997.
Shaggy who?
Shaggy, not
Shaggy
Shabby.
Rogers.
Shaggy had a last name on
Shaggy
Scooby-Doo?
Rogers in the
Wow.
Scooby-Doo franchise.
I
He
had
did
no clue about
voice,
that.
He did it from 1969 to 1997. He did it again for 7 years, 2002 to 2009.
What was Daphne's last name?
I was going to ask you what the characters
I
were.
have no idea.
Vel-
But he is
Thelma,
also
Thelma,
Thelma?
Daphne, Fred.
Fred.
How you know these things, you weirdo? I know Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. Yeah. But I didn't know Shaggy had a last name.
Betty Rubble.
Yeah, I didn't know Shaggy had a last name. You know who he was replaced by?
Who, Casey?
Yeah,
No.
Rick Dees.
Rick
Oh, well, if
Dees
you're going to
and
be
the
replaced.
Weekly
You're talking about in the top 40?
Yeah, Rick Dees in the weekly.
And then Shadow did it after that. Was it Shadow after that?
Shadow
Stevens? And then the American Idol dude.
Ryan Seacrest.
Right.
I love this guy, man. He's dead, unfortunately.
What'd he die of?
He died. What did he die of? I don't know.
Old age?
Yeah, he died in Gig Harbor, Washington, but it didn't say why.
No.
He probably just died of old age.
Sort of like Dick Clark.
Well, Dick Clark should have died a long time before he did. They kept him alive.
Boy, I tell you what, it was
Kind of mean.
Yeah, I'm Dick Clark, and you're
man, somebody's
watching the ball drop here.
Oh, man.
I don't know what year it is.
Oh, man. That is just...
He did a lot of voices for Sesame Street, and listen, remember Peter Cottontail? Remember that cartoon?
Yeah.
Here comes Peter Cotton. He did the voice for Peter
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
You know what? Now you do.
I can't believe you were talking bad on Dick Clark like that. American Bandstand guy.
Listen, Dick Clark should have died.
Listen, I'll tell you what, though, right after a stroke, God bless him, because he had the stones to get up there and say, you know, a stroke's not going to hold me back. But, man, that was hard watching the first time. It was like, man, that was bad. I just couldn't do it.
Now, listen,
It was a train wreck.
I didn't print anything out for this guy, but everybody knows this guy. Now, you know this voice, but see if you know the name.
Okay.
All right?
The boss is going to get what he's waiting for, because here comes General Lee, and it's not alone.
Well, obviously, the Dukes of
Dukes of
Hazzard.
Hazzard.
Oh, yeah, but who narrated for the Dukes of Hazzard?
Well, I mean, I guarantee you're going to tell us. It wasn't Daisy.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to tell you. Hold on.
It's
wait a
probably going to amaze me. Waylon Jennings?
minute. Exactly.
No kidding.
Now, the boys and Jude didn't any more than get out of Willie's sight when they...
He actually guest starred on the
Was it
show.
Waylon Jennings?
Yeah.
So he sang the song and he was
Yeah,
the
he
narrator.
sang
I
it.
knew he sung the song. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You know, really.
But everybody hears that narration. They're like,
Yeah. And then, like, right when the car's, like, frozen in the air, right?
oh, yeah, man. Oh,
Now,
I had
what
it.
do you think the Duke boys are going to do here?
Yeah, now what do you think? Oh, listen, I got one more.
Okay.
And I guarantee you that nobody's going. Well, you know what? I guarantee you're not going to know who it is. Listen to the voice, because this takes you way back. All right? Way back. Listen.
Like everything else, a good legend's got to have a good beginning. The right bloodline, you might say.
Man.
This one began even
Don't
before
you recognize that
Lobo's time.
voice?
with a wolf.
Listen, I recognize it from every Sunday. We'd go to my grandpa's, and he would cut our hair. Me and my brother would sit down in front of the TV, and we watch. No, and he was a cowboy. He was a singer and an actor and everything else. Rex Allen.
He was known as the fierce one.
John Wayne.
Rex Allen.
What was Rex Allen on?
Rex Allen was he was a voiceover guy. He did. He did the voice. He did a narration on Charlotte's Web.
Oh no, I do like Charlotte's Web. That's why I call Charlotte out there. If you ever come to Casa de Rogan, you'll see all the spider webs and stuff out by there, and I don't mess with her. I call her Charlotte.
Listen, there was something real interesting about this guy. Oh, his death.
Oh, great. Yeah. Are you going to make fun of him, too?
No, listen. He died. He died of a massive coronary, but that's not the...
yeah. So you made fun of the guy with a stroke, now you're making fun of a guy that had a massive heart attack.
No, listen. Rex Allen died on December 17th, 1999, 2 weeks before his 79th birthday in Tucson, Arizona, of a massive coronary, causing him to collapse in his driveway of his home.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a heart attack and he fell down. Okay, that's not the part.
It's kind of like
he suffered additional injuries when his caretaker accidentally ran him over in his own driveway.
Oh, now that's
that's different.
He was cremated.
Well, yeah, she creamed him for sure.
Yeah, listen, Rex Allen. He's just he was an actor too. He did a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of movies and stuff too.
Rex Allen. He sounds like a porn star.
Yeah.
No, he's not a porn star.
Hey, baby, I'm Rex Allen. Give me some music, Jimmy. Give me some porn music. Hum some. Hey, baby. I'm Rex Allen.
Listen, Rex Allen. Everybody that was.
Let's go clubbing. You want to go clubbing tonight? Because I got a club in my pants.
You're a bad boy. Most of the people that probably listen to this grew up in the 70s, right?
Oh, I would guess.
Everybody remembers that. That's Rex Allen, man. That's the legend of Lobo. Here it comes. I love it. Listen.
Like everything else, a good legend's got to have a good beginning.
See the guy that does the Toyota commercials, too? The Toyota Tundra commercials? The guy with the big handlebar mustache?
He's dead. He died in 1999. He did record hundreds of national advertising voice tracks. He did do that. I said Hanna-Barbera. He did a lot of stuff for Hanna-Barbera. He was behind the Purina.
Well, maybe that's where I'm recognizing that voice is probably something off of Hanna-Barbera then.
Yeah.
He's 70s porn.
Yeah. Now listen. Now see, I have a favorite also.
It's not Rex Allen?
It's not Rex Allen. Now this is, most of the things, Jimmy, you'll have to keep playing that. But most of the things that I like are like baseball announcers. I absolutely love baseball announcers. Bob Uecker, Joe Buck.
Bob Uecker, the only one I know.
And this dude right here.
We've decided that we will
you recognize
come
this
back
guy?
with the Dodgers for next year. It's time for Dodger baseball.
No?
Nope.
You don't recognize that voice?
Man, I'm not into baseball. So.
Come on now.
Well, we say a belated happy birthday
That's Vin
to
Scully.
an icon of the Dodgers and the sports world. Vin Scully turned 84 years old.
Well, the guy's old, but his voice is absolutely fantastic.
But ain't better than Rex Allen.
It is our pleasure to present to you the top 5 great
He was a cowboy singer, too.
by Vin Scully. Number 5.
Here we go.
Scully.
Check this guy's voice out.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson.
Sounds like SWAT.
Little roller up along first.
The 1986 World Series, Bill Buckner's gap immortalized by
That's
Vin
great.
Scully.
Keep that up, man. That's a funny jump.
The Mets to the title and misery for Red Sox fans. Number 4.
Is this what you guys listen?
You know what? If I had this music playing behind a baseball game, I'd probably watch the baseball game.
Only Vin Scully could do justice to one of the most.
Jeremy was talking about another one.
Did they say Spicoli?
Scully.
Spicoli. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You know the best part about that? Spicoli. That's about the only thing Sean Penn ever did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is when Mr. Hand comes and gets his pizza or something like that.
You dick!
Yeah. Mr. Hand! Hey, Mr. Hand. Look at my Van shoes. That's fantastic. But anyway, just some announcers, and that's how we got where we are today. Sadly to say, Todd was making fun of Casey Kasem. He made fun of Dick Clark. He was making fun of Ryan Seacrest.
I would never make fun of Casey Kasem. He's one of my heroes.
Casey Kasem. Give me a Shaggy.
I can't do Shaggy. I can do Scooby, though.
Okay, well.
Swaggy.
All right. Hey, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this big thing. It's going to be happening on allegedly September 23rd. We're talking about the big asteroid. You've heard it. NASA's denied it. And there's some people out there that say you need to watch yourself because just so happens you absolutely might.
You might die on it.
You might be dead. And then all of a sudden, Todd's going to be in radio heaven now that he's in broadcasting.
Probably with Dick Clark.
With Dick Clark, and Dick Clark's gonna whip your ass.
Dick Clark might
you know
whip my
what?
ass.
You know, he's gonna his tongue hanging out. It's gonna lick you, and then he's gonna beat your ass. Now listen, okay, that's what a tauntaun.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear. I want to hear.
That does sound like a tauntaun.
I want to hear a tauntaun do the dropping of the ball in New York on New Year's Eve.
I can't talk and do the tauntaun.
You just need to figure it out. Jimmy, give me some music. give me some like. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. We'll see here real quick. What the hell's the name of that song here? What's the name of the song here for New Year's Eve?
Old Lang Syne?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Sing along, yeah.
Okay.
Old Lang Syne. I can't do a tauntaun and Dick Clark.
I think you could probably try it very well, and I think you would be just fine.
Yeah,
and then we're all on the computers here.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find me some Dick Clark. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know what.
Look, Dick Clark bloopers. That was about the last 10 years of his life, wasn't it?
Oh, buddy.
I'm so sorry. I'm Dick Clark. And somebody's got to hold me up. I can't even find anything on Dick Clark. Poor bastard. There he is.
Jeez, dude. The guy's dead. He was
born in 1929. Died in 2012. Should have been 2010. Dead air.
Let's see here. Yeah, we got these dumb ads. That's what it is.
Yeah, I got it right here.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
4.
Was that me or was that you?
3, 2. Happy 1977.
Oh, no.
Oh, remembering Dick Clark. All right, I'm going to hear the tauntaun.
Sounds just like a tauntaun. Somebody's got to find a tauntaun. Jimmy, you got to find a tauntaun on YouTube. You thought they smelled bad on the outside. Remember that?
Oh, it's terrible. You know, I'm starting to cry now. Thinking of
Dick Clark.
Man, I tell you what, that's just brutal to talk like that. I want to hear.
I got it right here, buddy.
I do too. I'm looking at it right here. And we're looking at it, and then obviously the podcast. We totally forgot about the podcast.
Yeah, this is
Once again, make sure you call us. This is very. It'll get better. 681-222-ROGN. This is like the New Year's Eve special. I can't wait for the Christmas special.
It can be. We can just bank this and.
We're trying to find it so we can. There we go.
Oh, that was him dying, man. We need to hear him.
All right. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about this.
Yeah, well,
I would really like to hear Tauntaun do the dropping of the New Year's Eve ball there.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Go to break.
All right. We'll be back. Once again, follow us, Rogan Radio, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, plus YouTube.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and YouTube. Just search for Rogan Radio.
Chuck Fuchsius. Hey, man, it's Dale calling in from D.C. Now, I just wanted to give you a shout-out and say congratulations on starting the new radio show. I also wanted to drop a little bit of something for maybe you to talk about on the air. You know, I was thinking about this. Why is it that every single thing that has to do with our government is bought at the lowest possible bidder, with the exception of our politicians? You do some thinking about that, and I'll be listening for you, man. See ya. Do it.
All right, we're back on Rogan Radio, and we have Matt from Rhode Island on the phone. Matty, what's up, brother?
Not too much.
How you doing, Matt?
you doing?
Matt, we are talking right now, and this is why we need you on the phone. We're talking about, well, first of all, we've been talking about Star Wars. Are you jacked up for the new Battlefront game?
Not really, actually.
Really?
What?
Whoa!
All right, hang up, line one. Let's go to line two.
What's going on with the game? What's your opinion of it, bro?
It reminds me too much of the Battlefield games, and I can't stand playing those things. I feel like you spawn, you get killed, and you're sitting there for half an hour just repeating that, and that's not fun.
No, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they figure out something to do with this. I know they're going to have. So I've been reading like land speeder, not land speeder, speeder bike races in the game. I don't know how long that'll last as far as the joy of it goes. And then
well, we know we got aerial stuff now. You know, ship to ship stuff. Where I don't
dogfighting
with
TIE fighters and X-wings.
I don't know if they originally planned on doing that or not, or maybe it wasn't. They weren't going to do it in space, but they're doing it now anyhow. I'm pumped up for it, Matt.
See, like the aerial battles in the game are so limited. It's like based on like a kill streak, or you kill someone, you get a token, and then you can fly around for like a minute.
Because
so
that token will like unlock like the Millennium Falcon, for instance, right? If you get so many tokens,
yeah.
So it's more or less like a perk then.
Kind of, but it's very limited. It's almost like they threw it in there just to be like, oh, look, we have ships, and that's an important part of Star Wars.
Yeah, that's kind of a very important part of Star Wars there. Matt, okay, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about this big asteroid. Have you been keeping up on all the conspiracy junk they've been saying how the Earth's going to end on September 23rd from this big asteroid hit?
Yeah, I've been seeing some of that.
Now stuff. It's now this is Todd was talking earlier about what was the thing with the now this is kind of one of those weird. This is definitely a conspiracy, Matt, with the Pope being in New York.
Yeah, there's a few notable little bullet points that hint that something might be happening on or near September 23rd. Here's one thing. It's about we were reading about the Pope. The Pope. There's 266 days from the beginning of the year till September 23rd. 266 days. The Pope is going to come talk with Obama on September 23rd, and he's the 266th Pope.
What?
See? It's just one of them weird little things.
Wait a minute.
But
So wait a minute. You're telling me that September 23rd is the 266th day.
266th day of the year.
And he's the 266th Pope.
Yep, and he's going to meet with Obama on September 23rd.
Is that when everybody puts the glasses on and we figure out that they're actually like Men in Black aliens or something like that? Like
they live.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, there's a bunch more of those, but people are going kind of crazy over this September 23rd thing.
My thing is, though, like, yeah, I see all the conspiracies and everything, but if NASA's denying it, then where did everybody else get this information that there's an asteroid out there heading toward us? Did somebody see this thing, supposedly?
Well, I thought NASA was saying, listen, don't worry about it. Because they say like 100 tons of this stuff hits the Earth every single day. But this one is
that's what Matt. Now you would know. You kind of keep up on this stuff too. Have you ever heard? I mean, they say what? How as you can imagine, how many tons of crap enter the atmosphere every single day? Just space stuff. You know what I mean?
A lot of crap comes out
it's
of
a ton.
too.
I mean, I think they say the world gains like 1 ton from space debris every single year, as you said. I mean, every night you can look outside and see shooting stars. I mean, every second of the day, something's burning up. Right,
absolutely. Now, the one thing that I don't know is, have there ever been like a satellite or the space station or the space shuttle, anything like that, been hit by anything been hit like that? Because you can imagine like a little rock come flying through space and it would hit a satellite, man. That would knock that thing right out.
And it'd be just dust is really all you need or something like that.
Go right through the shuttle.
17,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't. Have you heard anything like that, Matt? Anything ever like that? A satellite getting knocked out or anything like that from space debris?
I think we had the space station or a satellite did get hit by like a very little meteorite a few years ago, and it caused damage, but otherwise, nothing really any of significance has ever occurred.
I mean, you hear satellites going down. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They have to put new satellites up.
But now, I've also heard that the way everything's lined up, like Jupiter, for example, the way the gravity of Jupiter, because it's so massive, and Matt put a video on the Facebook page just to show you how massive things are.
Yeah.
That a lot of that stuff that comes flying through the solar system kind of gravitates towards Jupiter, which knocks it off. Just how the orbit of Earth and Jupiter kind of in a weird way kind of coincide. It kind of knocks it off, so nothing does get smashed.
Hey, Matt, listen, what do you know about CERN? You know anything about CERN?
No, not really.
Well, they got it. Where's that at, Chuck?
That's in Switzerland?
CERN
or Sweden?
CERN.
CERN, yeah.
That's an accelerator, I think.
The Hadron Collider, I think is what it is.
Yep, the God particle.
Yeah, listen, the LHC, they're doing this thing in September, this experiment in the month of September, in which some people suspect will open up a wormhole or a spiritual porthole that could bring about disastrous consequences for the planet. That's what they're saying.
They've been saying that since they started the experiment, that by smashing the atoms, they were going to create miniature black holes that would then devour each other, and it would end up engulfing the whole planet.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Nothing's happened yet, so...
They're too afraid to start it up.
No,
that thing just fired up.
Well, they've done test on test on this thing before. This is not the first time.
No. What's the actual... Matt, what's the actual reasoning for the CERN? I mean, what are they trying to prove by doing it? Because honest to goodness, I have no idea.
The point of the project was they wanted to try to figure out basically what caused the Big Bang. By taking the atoms and smashing them at the high speeds, they release all that energy. So they were hoping to almost recreate like a miniature universe of sorts, see what had to happen for creation, find that original particle that's sparked everything.
Right. Okay. Because that's what kind of amazed me on that video that you posted there of how small the Earth is, and then you start getting into the sun, and you see how small the sun is when you start getting into other suns, and that's just an inch
just in our own galaxy,
of what's. Who knows, man? Who knows what's out there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to me. And in that, but now, okay, so I guess they would understand better with, that's amazing, though, when you think about it. Einstein, just with, with his just brain, I guess, and what he, I guess, his physics, his mathematics, of what he understood, I guess, based upon Earth principles. But how did that guy figure out what happens off of Earth? You know what I mean? We can't even figure out on Earth what happens in another country. But this guy was trying to figure. You know what I mean? He was figuring stuff, and it's amazing to me.
And shooting, they said he only used 10% of his brain, didn't he? We only used what, 7?
Jimmy, you might not use 7. Chuck, we know you don't.
But one of Einstein's things was that he noticed when he was on a bike and he was going towards a clock, how like the speed of the clock was different from when he was farther away, and that's how he came up with like his theory of relativity of like the speed of light, that if you travel at the speed of light, time slows down.
Now see,
somehow he came up with all his crazy theories based on like that one idea.
Riding a bike. And then I guess that would go back to like the science fiction. I mean, this is really throwing it out there as far as science fiction writers go. But then Roddenberry writing about how you have to, with the Enterprise going faster to the sun to get up to speed with the orbit, and kind of going back in time. I mean, can you literally go back in time, or can you just slow down time?
Probably based on the laws of physics. I think you can only slow down time. I don't think you can actually reverse time.
Because you would almost, that would be.
But you know what? Would slowing down time be more like in relation to, like, say we're on Earth, right? Okay. And a day is a day, 24 hours, all this. But if you're traveling at the speed of light, you're going from point A to point B, traveling at the speed of light. So naturally, when you get in, say the planet's 10 light years away, it's going to take you 10 years to get there, traveling at the speed of light.
Yeah.
But
you still can't. I can't. His thing was you go back in time if you went faster than the speed of light. But, and then that brings up the whole theory of you go back and you kill your grandfather before you're born, then who actually killed him if you were never born.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Looper, good movie.
But I mean, now here's the thing. I mean, if you go, what was the movie with Brad Pitt? I think it was Brad Pitt where he's
Benjamin Buttons.
Benjamin Buttons, yeah.
He's born old and then dies young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just backwards.
But I mean, your genetics, your cell would have a time. I mean, regardless of what happens, you can't. I wouldn't think slow down the actual biological clock of your body, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how.
I mean, regardless of what you do with time, as far as like the sun or watch or whatever. See, this is where I get confused, and this is what brings me back to Einstein. However, hell, we got talking about that coming off an asteroid, but you know. The guy somehow what was he smoking?
Yeah.
To even think about it.
It's kind of like, did you see the movie Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, Interstellar.
Where he went they went down to that planet, and it was the guy up in space waited there for like 20 years, but they were only down there for like 20 minutes because of the way that...
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about it even in that aspect, if you're on the surface of the planet and you're stationary, or say you're walking in the same direction as something in orbit, okay... Could you technically that guy's traveling just because of the distance 23,000 miles an hour, and you're walking a half a mile an hour, right? But does that actually change? I mean, he's not.
Yeah, he just ends up here where you're still way back here. It's the same time,
but the time is still relevant because both of yours. Man, God, my head's hurting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Matt. What do you think about now? This is something else. Is this another conspiracy? Because this is what Jimmy was talking about earlier with NASA. Is say if there was an asteroid coming. Well, you have plenty of amateur astronomers out there looking at stuff, and somebody's going to leak that. I can't imagine if there was something coming, somebody would say, "Hey, listen, we're just not going to tell anybody about it." Somebody wants to be somebody wants to leak that stuff, right? Anyway, but the oh my God, I just lost my train of thought.
About NASA.
Oh my God!
If something big like that's coming here, they're not going to tell me and you.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because
so
you think a lot of the amateur astronomers would be able to pick that up.
Well, yeah, because one thing that the crowd control. You know what I mean? Crowd control. They're not going to say, "Hey, listen, you have something in 4 days going to kill you."
They wouldn't. But you know what? Like you're saying with these amateur astronomers,
somebody would, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you think they'd be all over the place telling everybody to dig a hole and buy some water.
Toilet paper and bread, man.
That's right.
Milk.
We'll all be busters.
But anyway, now, Matt, another thing we'll get into real quick. We'll get off the asteroid because obviously we're going to be here well past the diner. But, hey, truthfully, though, we're due for one. We're due for a good hit. I think that NASA, every so many thousands or hundreds of years, there's a good... When was the Siberia hit?
Is it...
Matt,
1980?
No,
it was 2000. It was 2000.
The one pre-World War II that leveled that entire forest.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that hit in 2013.
No, that was the one we were watching on the Facebook.
Yeah.
But this is one that
there was one that was like 1914 that they released like 10 times the amount of energy as like the atomic bombs.
Yeah.
Is that what you see? Them pick just leveled that whole forest.
Listen, it leveled everything.
It didn't even hit the Earth. It exploded right before it hit the Earth.
That was just a shock from the thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now listen, you imagine if that thing was over New York or anywhere on the eastern seaboard.
Every building would be
Oh man. Well see, then so when they're talking about an Ellie by chance.
Extinction level events.
Yeah, maybe it's not. I mean, who needs something that actually hits the Earth and kills everybody? Maybe they just need something something big enough to fly over and flatten everything.
Mm-hmm.
Man, now I'm getting kind of scared. And the Pope's in town. Maybe I'll go to confession.
Yeah, maybe you should.
You can hold me.
I'm looking at USA Today, and they say that more than 600,000 asteroids swing close to the Earth. That swing close to the Earth, or 150 feet wide or bigger. That big enough to destroy New York City
every year?
with a direct hit. Yeah.
And that's going, what, 50, 60,000 miles an hour probably?
I don't know how fat, boy. I tell you what.
They're about that.
They're singing.
Oh, man. But, Matt, you're not excited for Battlefront.
No, I am not.
How about, what's your big game? What's going to be the big game this fall?
Oh,
Siege.
boy.
Tell me,
Rainbow Six Siege.
how about Halo 5?
You know, Halo is just... The franchise is stagnant. I don't think there's really going to be a big game for this year. I mean, you got Halo, and then you have Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty again.
Right.
I mean, how many times can you put those games out?
I think that the new
every
Rainbow
year?
Six, Rainbow Six Siege is supposed to be out December 1st. That looks pretty darn good.
But you know what? When is it? When are they coming out?
December 1st.
Oh, they're never going to release that. They'll never release that.
Well, that's been pushed back for a long time, though.
You know what? Here's what I figured out about is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft, Matt?
I've always said Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's one thing I know: you have Call of Duty, and then you have Halo, and then you have Battlefront. Why would Ubisoft release Rainbow Six right in the middle of all that action? Because nobody's going to buy that game.
No, you'd be smart to wait till either right after the holidays or spring.
And they're notorious for delays, just like with the Division.
Yeah, the Division's still a ways off.
Yep.
Because what was the Division was supposed to be the
launch game.
Wasn't that supposed to be the original Rainbow Six sort of thing or something like that?
Oh, I just know
It is. The Division is a Tom Clancy project with his name attached to it, but I think it's just for marketing purposes.
Right. Because they bought Tom Clancy's name, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, Matt. One last thing, because we're going to keep you. Everybody's going to get what's the word? I don't want to say accustomed. Used to you, get to know ya.
We want to call you back, Matt.
No, you're from Rhode Island, Matt. Who's your favorite football team? It's got to be the Patriots, right?
It isn't the Patriots.
Oh my! Don't say the Steelers either.
It is not the Steelers.
Oh no!
Who's your favorite team?
Actually, my favorite team right now is the Denver Broncos.
Right now? Do you change?
Are you a bandwagoner, Matt?
No, when I was a little kid, I used to like the Oakland Raiders. But you know what? They've been losing for the last 20 years. You can't stick with that forever.
Hey, they would have been winners if the tuck rule with Brady wouldn't happen back in the day.
That's true. That's the last time they were good.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos. Who's the quarterback out there? That's Peyton Manning, all right?
Yep, Peyton
Denver,
Manning.
Yeah, Denver. Yeah.
Huh. Well, how's your fantasy football team going?
They're doing terrible, actually.
You don't have money on this thing, do you?
I mean, there's just no one on my team is performing well this year. So.
Todd's fantasy's going terrible too.
Yeah.
Todd doesn't play fantasy football. He plays fantasies with himself.
If you can't play fantasies with yourself, man, who can you play with?
Exactly.
All right, we're going to play a final game here for the show tonight. We're going to go through 3 announcers since we talked about that earlier. And we're going to have Matt, since he's the guest on the phone, pick his favorite. I'm going to say one, you say one, and then we'll just go from there. And then
Matt, how old are you? Tell me how old you are.
Well, Matt would know these
I am
guys.
28.
Yeah, Matt's going to know these guys.
Well, he might not know all of them.
Oh, no, we're just going to say 3. I'll just pick one. You pick one, and then when it's been Matt, we'll just shuffle like that. Whoever's going to pick doesn't get to pick their favorite announcer. All right, I'm going to pick Dick Clark. I'm going to pick Dick Clark. Who you going to pick?
I want to pick Rex Allen.
Rex Allen.
I like LaFontaine.
Fontaine. All right, out of those 3, Matt, who do you like? Who's your favorite?
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark. All right, Captain Earl, you start this time.
Casey Kasem.
Okay. It's like a beer drinking game.
Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest. All right, Matt, pick an announcer.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah, Casey Kasem.
Oh man. Whew. Casey Kasem.
Bob Uecker.
Oh, what
did I say? Did
no,
you say Bob?
I was going to say Bob Uecker.
No, go ahead, Jim. You're starting this time.
I was going to say Bob Uecker.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bob
You
Uecker.
get to pick this time.
Bob Uecker, then.
Bob Uecker. All right, Matt. Pick another announcer.
Bob Uecker is a great announcer.
Yeah.
Right. Pick an announcer. Any announcer that you want.
Joe Buck, because he's terrible.
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck. That's who Jeremy was talking about the other day. Joe Buck. I couldn't remember that guy's name.
Yeah. All right. So who am I going to pick for you to pick, Captain Earl?
I don't know. Might have been
Oh, man. I'm going to pick John Tesh, baby. I love John Tesh and all that stuff he puts on. All that.
He's pretty smart. Rick Dees.
No, dude. You listen. Have you been
John
playing this
Tesh
game for the?
is good.
Listen.
No,
you
John
don't-
Tesh is good.
You don't say an announcer. You pick the announcer.
All right.
That you like out of those 3. Bob Uecker, Joe Buck, and John Tesh.
John Tesh.
All right. All right, Matt. Thanks for talking to us, brother.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for getting a little confusing.
All right, everyone. That was that for the very first episode of Rogan Radio. And thanks for Maddie for talking to us. And thanks for Jimmy for coming down. And Todd for coming in. And where's the applause at? You've been playing on Facebook.
Oh, my God. You won't let me play the applause.
Listen, I've been waiting all night for this, dude. I told you to have it ready. Jimmy, do you have any porno music there so while Todd gets this ready? We're going to have to wait here. And as you can tell, we have a lot of show prep. We spent hours upon this. I spent about 3 weeks getting this stuff put together, only to have it all fall apart in about 30 seconds. There we go. We got the poor music. I feel like I'm once again watching SWAT. And we're just waiting for some applause. Now, I can always add this in later, so you can just act like you do it if you don't have all your stuff down, man. There you go. Now he feels like his favorite morning show guy. No names.
Oh, not tonight.
You know what? You got to love the bass guitar, man. Awesome. All right, you're listening to Rogan Radio. Once again, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Google+, follow us on YouTube. The camera, boy, I don't know if that's going to work out. I need to get that thing. Works out. And call us, leave us a message, give us a question if you have one. We'll talk about it. Give us a little liner. Just say that whoever you are, I'm listening to Rogan Radio. We'll put it on the air between breaks. And also, you can once again text us on this same number. It is 681-222-ROGN. 681-222-ROGN. That's the right number, right?
Yeah, it is.
I had a lot of problems with that
You
last
need to put
time.
that up there on that big screen so I can see it.
Well, we didn't use that thing one time tonight.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. I could have put some good images of the Earth exploding up there if you want me to.
Yeah. I'm just kind of ready to go make love right now.
Well, you can go make love to Jimmy because I'm going to go home.
All right. Later on.
Thanks again for listening to Rogan Radio. Be sure again to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and YouTube. And be sure to comment by leaving a text or message by calling our hotline at 681-222-ROGAN-RADIO. Next episode, oh, screw it, we'll all be dead anyway, Rogan Radio.
Hey, bro, guess who this is, man? It's your boy, Todd. T-O-double-D. Anyway, put me on the radio. That's why I'm leaving you this message, so you can put me on the radio with it. All right.